Peace and love, you beautiful miracles of spiritual level being. Nathan here from a spiritual level being, and you have a spiritual level being. And today I want to discuss the monad, Christ, and submission. Now, every religion has an exoteric side and an esoteric side. A side that's for the general public and a side that's for the initiates only. Secret teachings. Now, the whole idea of God only being good, this is Gnostic teaching. The whole idea of the divine spark, again, this is Gnosticism, and you'll find this in Judaism still, as there were Gnostic Jews, basically, so Gnostic Essenes, if you will. Now, Gnosticism predates the Jewish scriptures, it predates Judaism, it predates Christianity. Now, there were ancient Christian groups, including St. Augustine, that believed that Christianity was a truer, secret old religion of deeper ancient truths. Now, the whole idea of truth and goodness and the divine spark, again, is Gnostic. Now, the Capocratians, who believed that Jesus was just a regular person, rather a metaphor for something that we can all achieve, they were said to have kept pictures of the historical Jesus next to other great philosophers, such as Plato. Now, Greek philosophers and ones such as Plato rejected the many stories of gods and goddesses as petty human traits, and the idea of the gods being unknowable. Again, this takes root in Gnosticism. Now, the Jesus of the Bible represents submission and obedience, where the Gnostic version represents freedom and knowledge. So, as the church grew in power, they tried to demonize knowledge and demonize maths. This is why you have the idea of 666. So 666 meaning Nero and the devil, and this is basically why, to stop people from seeking these deeper esoteric truths, which they really try to divide from their teachings. Now, the whole idea of the circumpunct, meaning the three G's, God, glory, and gold, what Neanderthals be doing, painting a symbol that means God, glory, and gold, the same excuse, the three G's that was used for the conquest of the new Americas, or the new land, or the new world. Now, rather, this idea meant single mind, the mind of God, the universe, single point. Now, again, you are a single mind. We are many minds that make up the cosmic mind of the Mother, Father, God. So we are God experiencing itself, coming to know itself. Now, the idea of the truth and corruption, and that the truth is real as it doesn't change. This idea is an ancient philosophy that again goes into Gnosticism. Now, St. Irenaeus, a heresy hunter and early day church father who was known for demonizing such groups as Gnostics and other ancient Christian groups, and even, say, pagan groups and ancient Egyptians. Now, Christianity has taken its roots from, say, ancient Egyptians, Mesopotamians, a bit of everything is gathered into this idea because Yeshua, Jesus, if you will, wanted to make an idea of a universal spirituality, or possibly a universal religion. Now, most of what we know of Jesus a lot of it is myth. A lot of them are stories that have been manipulated, changed, passed down through oral tradition, etc. Now, even other religions took religious miracles from Christianity and adapted into their religion as well, as all religions intermingle with each other. The same thing has even happened with Buddhism. Now, today I want to go in deep, as this is my 402nd video. Now, I've made lots of videos on this channel. I was playing with this live headset and on, but I just thought, let's just go with this, just in case I make a mistake. And here I can correct it if I do. Now, the whole idea of freedom and knowledge that was demonized, this doesn't make sense, as we need knowledge. We need comprehension. Without, say, the ego or knowledge of good and evil, we would be basically animals on instinct. The whole idea of us coming to know God, and as animals can't comprehend this, as this is a human ideal or a human ideology, as we have evolved beyond the point of comprehension that we can imagine, etc. Now, again, this is because, in a sense, we are God. We are the higher mind, and we are not the final form, as life is still evolving. other life out there in the universe. Who knows how much that has evolved or devolved, as all life will eventually return to its source. It's a never-ending program, if you will, the ultimate form of recycling, of energy being reused and transferred and recycled. Now, old worlds collapse and new civilizations rise. And technology's knowledge gets forgotten and gets rediscovered and reinvented. So, who knows even what our future can hold in another million years or so? Would we be here? Would we be somewhere else? Would we be ultimately disappeared off this earth? Or would we rebuild and restabilize this earth and undo the damage that we've done? Now, again, this comes with the idea of awareness of our evolution. So as life evolves, so does good nature, love, compassion, empathy. As we start questioning certain behaviors, instincts, if you will, to help us progress, so that way we limit and let go of what holds us back and stops our growth. Now, Gnosticism was really pushed out because of its anti-political nature, if you will, as they seen most corrupt figures of the time, the archons, the demiurge. Even we have this idea of, say, the government wanting to control us, being aware of reincarnation and etc. This again goes from Gnostic traditions that have been changed through oral traditions and the modern day conspiracy theories. Now, in my channel, I've said that some of the head governments know about reincarnation, definitely. It doesn't mean they sit there collectively as these evil bunch of dudes saying, all right, we're going to purposely do this and this. Rather, they only know about reincarnation, but they actually don't comprehend it. So they don't understand themselves as they're self-motivated, greedy individuals, not focusing on growth collectively. So they'll just be reincarnating like us. But again, this is the state of unawareness. If they were truly aware, they'd be doing good. So they're not these super evil people, fully aware, awakened ones, dumbing down the rest of the population on purpose. No, it's just that they see themselves as the good guys. No one sees themselves as evil. The sun shines on bad people too. Now, if we were to evolve beyond the point of no longer needing physical bodies, this goes into the realm of science fiction, as we would have to delve into, say, 100% power of our brains, where us humans say only use 10, 20% or whatever. Now, well, 10%. Now, this being said, who knows what would happen if we step into using 100% power of our brain? It goes into the scientific realm. Now, again, this is because of, you're not a body, you're a mind. So if you were to use 100% power of your mind, this would be beyond our comprehension, because all we know is this physical body. So in a state, you'd be in that pure state of consciousness, pure state thought. So one with the source, you would cease to exist. You would be a part of a different realm, if you will, the energy realm, spirit realm, etc. Now, pure consciousness, basically, God itself. Now, life seeks to evolve, develop itself, progress, seek meaningful experiences, filter out information in order to grow, etc. So, if it has nothing to learn, it will cease to be, as has no longer any need to evolve, to seek experiences. So we have all these different lives in order to have these experiences, in order to develop ourselves, to ultimately exchange this shared information, as energy is information being transferred. Now, the idea of you being God, this is an ancient idea. This goes back to ancient Egyptians, as some believed that gods were reflections of ourselves. Gnosticism was that we are God, that we're one with God. The idea of life is returning to the source, the pleroma. Some Gnostics believe that this material flesh is a prison, if you will, that our soul's been trapped in this material prison world. Not all Gnostics believe this, as some Gnostics rejected the idea of this evil created God and believed that it was simply us coming to know itself to make this world the kingdom of heaven. Some Gnostics believe the demiurge or Yadabaoth was not completely evil, just ignorant, and he aims to fix up his mistakes. So again, depending on the types of Gnostic view or the Gnostic ideology or the type of Gnosticism here, they had different ideas, but they all read each other's writings, so they were all very open-minded, but ultimately still had their own ideology. Now, the idea of omnism is an ancient idea, but the word itself is a New Age word. Now, the idea of all gods existing, everyone having their own god, is an old idea, but the true first omnists would have been the Gnostics, as they were more open-minded when reading other people's texts, and they never persecuted anyone. Now, other faiths definitely have persecuted. Now, other faiths have definitely gone to war. Buddhism, Zoroastrianism has persecuted people. Now, Gnosticism is one of the only ones that, as far as I know of so far, that has never persecuted anyone. So they were against violence, and because they were against violence and didn't take up arms, they were persecuted because of this. They were easier killed because they weren't seeking retaliation. Now, some Gnostics again believed that Jesus was just a myth. That was the Christ figure that you must achieve. There were Christians that believed that the Christ was inside the magic mushroom. It was a spirit that you could obtain or talk to through this magic mushroom experience. There's a cult that has this idea that survives today in Mexico. Now, the whole idea of submission, obedience, this was politically motivated, as all religions are politically based. Now, the first Christians were against the whole political idea in a sense, but they weren't for complete anarchy. They rather wanted a state that everyone ruled together collectively. Now, as they were known to encourage maths, science and art, it's just the biggest problem was they were mostly sharing their knowledge with the poor, as back then most types of people that were learning to read and write were noble or in priestly work, or oracle works, or a well-educated slave, vice versa. Now, again, most of writings we have now have been corrupted. We have found older writings, and some people just completely disregard them because all they're known is what they've been told to read. And this holds back one's progress and leaves them closed-minded. Ones who explore different faiths, who explore different ideologies, ideas, and exchange them, are ones who really grow. So peace and love, everyone. I love you all. Connect to all my mind and soul. Namaste.